Giving you story after story, everything is true. Some things are kinda scary, so what you gon' do? Cause that's another tale from the Sipp. That's another tale from the Sipp. Sometimes we spit scripture, line upon line, not discussing wickedness, but what is divine. And
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tales from the Sipp, episode 60. Yeah, got a little story I want to tell today, like always. This time, I'll tell you about when the past catches up with you. Yeah, so let me get into it. Now, this took place when I was about 21 years old at the time. 21, 22, something like that. At the time, this is when I had got out of jail. I found me a decent job. I was making pretty good money. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, I wasn't selling no more. I wasn't selling no more of that white at the time. I stopped doing it for a while, but I was back and forth doing it. You know what I'm saying? As the years went along, but I completely stopped when I was like around 25. I think I was about around 20, 26 when I stopped for good. You know what I'm saying? Because for some reason, it was hard for me to work a job. Now, I want to ask you something. If you ever was a hustle man, now, isn't it hard? It was very hard to stop doing that, not because, you know what I'm saying, it was just that money, how the money came, it came quick. You ain't had to work for nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because you was a hustler. And me, you know what I'm saying? I love to do it. I ain't gonna lie, I love selling yay. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? I hate working the job. Yay. But anyway, so like I was saying, at this time I was about 21. So I stopped trying to, sell the yay. I had got out of jail. I had just did like 6 months in jail. When I got out, my sister's baby daddy, he got me a job where he was. Made pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I was making like 500 a week. Man, it was some hard work. I was unloading trucks. But let me get into it. So one day, I'm sitting at the job, man. You know what I'm saying? I had got out of jail. Now, mind you, I told you I used to sell yay down there in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, I had quit because I was just working at the job. And then, guess what happened that day? One day I was sitting there at work, minding my own business. And guess who show up? Oh, Pearl PD show up at my job. Oh, was that Rankin County Police? It was Pearl PD, I think. But at the time, like I said, I was working. The job I had, it was in Pearl. You know what I'm saying? It was almost in Richland. It was at a place called, Craft Foods. So what I was doing at the job, I was unloading trucks. Yeah, some of them trucks came in, man. Everything was on the floor. I had to unload it. It wasn't even on the pallet. When if you did that kind of work, you know that when it's on the floor, it ain't loading on the pallet, so you can't get a pallet jack or forklift and pull it off the truck. You got to get everything load it on the pallet yourself, and then you jump on a forklift for a pallet jack, pull it on up out of the truck, load it on the dock, wrap it up, and everything. But anyway, so that was my job. I loved it, man, because we got paid by the load. You know, some loads come in, you might not make but $40 off of it. But hey, and then take about an hour to unload it. Just imagine you got, I would call it a lumper, if you know what that is. That what a lumper is, person that unload trucks, contract load, work for itself. You know, that's before they had a lumper service. So it was an agreement between me and the truck driver. But anyway, so some loads come in, they may pay $60. Everything on the floor, ain't on the pallet or nothing. Man, I used to go through that thing about an hour. You know what I'm saying? Unload it, boom, made me $60. Just imagine you do 2 or 3 of them a day. Yes, sir. You ain't got to do nothing else the rest of the day. Got that money, go. Got my check and I was gone. Yes, sir. But anyway, so one day I'm sitting at work making good money, man. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, police come up there, man. Uh, I'm outside. They pull up outside. They didn't come inside the warehouse. They came. They seen me outside. Pulled up. Aren't you? You know they called my name. What it was then. I said, oh no, they ain't none of me. No one I was lying. We said, oh, well, can I see your ID and you know what I'm saying and all this. As a matter of fact, that was Rankin County Police Department. You know what I'm saying? I said, yeah, let me go in my car and get it. So I run up there, and then he followed me up there, and I said, yeah, man, that's me, man. No, I ain't gonna go too long trying to. I ain't the type of person run and all this. Play no games. I ain't got. I said, man, let me go and get this over with, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been working for about a year. I think it wasn't a year. It was about a year. I was about 22 at the time. 'Cause I got out when I was 21. So I said, man, let me go and get this over with. I mean, what they got? So come to find out, he was arresting me for a charge that I had 2 years prior. Now think about this. They got me for the situation with the fireworks stand, which caused me to have to do 6 months in jail and pay $2,200 fine. After I did that, they let me out. Now they didn't bring up no charges. Them charges that they had for the sale of crack cocaine, that was from 2 years prior. When a certain specific person he snitched on everybody in the neighborhood. But I ain't mad at him. It's over with, man. That was years ago. I can see him right now today. I ain't got no problem with him. I didn't do no time behind it. But anyway, I might have to make a part 2 about this. So they got me. So he said, well, man, I got to take you down here to jail. You know what I'm saying? See, whoop de whoop, blah, blah, blah. I say, all right. So he locked me up, put me in the car, got me down to the jail. You know what I'm saying? They had me for sale of crack cocaine. It was one charge though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, eh. So the police that got me, he was a white police too. He said, man, I see you at work, man. I don't even believe, because the way I was talking and stuff. He said, man, I don't even believe you did that, man. He said, I'm gonna talk to the judge. See, can I get your bond, Lord? So, yeah, they set my bond. Everybody that they had caught, because it was 2 years ago for the charge. They got me 2 years later. I already had got in jail and I was working and stuff. So what ended up happening, that's what exactly he did. He talked to the judge. They set me a fine. See, everybody else, when they caught the charge, they had $50,000 bond and all that. Guess what my bond was? My bond was $5,000. So that means I had to pay what, $500 to get out? Yeah. But I'm gonna have to do a part 2 to this. But anyway, so I got locked up because my past was catching up to me. But you have to listen to the next episode to see what happened with this. But anyway, Tales from the Sipp, episode 60. Be on the lookout for episode 61. I'm gonna do a part 2 to this. Moral of the story is your past will catch up with you. Whatever you do, it's gonna come right back to you. And this one episode that happened. Yeah. But until next time, this is Hundo signing out. Peace out. Tales from the Sipp. Yes, sir.
That's another tale from the Sipp. That's another tale from the Sipp. Sometimes your boy may go way back in the day, talk about experiences and the games that he played. And that's another tale from the Sipp. That's another tale from the Sipp. Hey.